थोड़ा सा करीब से। हाँ अभी ठीक है, इसका वो भी अच्छा है।
Hello. Good morning to one and all. Sir, please have a seat. It gives us immense pleasure. The personality like Solanki sir, the solar man, Solar Gandhi is before you. My request to all audience, to all of you, hands up. Claps. Sir, as it is customary to initiate any program, first of all, the lighting of the lamp, because it is a lamp of knowledge. My request goes to Upamisha Madam to conduct the ceremony, and clapping from the students must be continued. Lamp does not speak. It introduces itself through its light. In the same way, achievers never expose themselves, but their achievement expose them. You see, sir, Solanki sir, their achievement, their solar bus is there in our school. Clapping I said, continue till the ceremony goes. Let your light shine so brightly that others can see the way out of the dark. It's the power of light. You know, nothing can dim the light that is the shines from within. Thank you, sir. I think, are you tired? Thank you, sir. And now, here, Saraswati Vandana. माँ सरस्वती को हृदय में बसाकर जीवन भर ज्ञान और शिक्षा ग्रहण करने वाला व्यक्ति बड़ा ही आनंदित और प्रसन्नचित रहता है। बच्चे केंद्रीय विद्यालय आईआईटी के तैयार हैं वंदना के लिए। माँ सरस्वती ही है विद्या की दाता, जिसको चाहे उसको बना दे ज्ञाता। माँ के आगे ही सभी झुकाते शीश, हे माँ शारदे दे दो अपना आशीष। निश्चित रूप से ये सारे बच्चे पीछे जाएंगे, आपको मालूम है आपकी फोटो होती है, तुरंत लाइन अप हो जाइए बहुत जल्दी से। सुभाषिनी तुम सुहागी हो, माँ ने अवश्य आशीर्वाद दिया होगा। बच्चे भगवान का रूप होते हैं और उन्होंने याचना की है कि हमें ज्ञान दे, वरदान दे, और इतनी बड़ी शख्सियत के साथ आपने देखा उनकी विनम्रता। वो पूरी समय जब तक प्रार्थना चलती रही उन्होंने आंखें बंद करके नमन किया, वंदन किया, अभिनंदन किया, पूजा की, अर्चना की, और शायद तभी नॉलेज, ज्ञान आप में समाहित है। माँ सरस्वती की अनुकंपा है। धन्यवाद सर, धन्यवाद मेरे प्यारे बच्चों। It is the possibility of having a dream come true that makes the life interesting. Everybody sees the dream. Sir has also seen the dream and it comes true. So now it's a time to extend the great welcome to this fabulous personality. So Solanki sir and Rupa Mishra is invited to extend the green welcome, hand over green pot to sir. Oh, presentation. तालियां बजती रहनी चाहिए। Thank you, sir. Dare to dream, but even more important, dare to put action behind your dreams. There is one more man who has a lot of dream in his heart. Our principal sir, vibrant and visionary. Now I request principal sir to extend a welcome to all the dignitaries present over here. Whenever any authority comes, it has been taught to you, you have to try.
Good morning to the chief guest on dais, Professor Solanki, Professor Chetan Singh Solanki, the Solar Man of India, Solar Gandhi. Next to him, Professor Nishant Nair, our guardian, and our professor in IIT Kanpur, and our VMC member as well, and vice principal, learned teachers, and all my lovely students. I hope you must be enjoying not only this hall, but the company of these dignitaries on the dais as well. I will start just from a question. How many of you have done that energy literacy training? Just please raise your hand. Good. So if you have gone through that training, I'm sure you can't miss, sir's appearance in that, is it? So as such, virtually, I'm sure many of you are already aware about him, knows a lot about him, but now it is the chance, it is the opportunity for all of us to listen him live. So I really thanks to Professor Solanki and would like to share how it could become possible to bring him here today in this hall. The credit goes to again our sponsoring agency, IIT Kanpur. I got an email from IIT side that there is one session of Solanki sir in IIT Kanpur today at 5 p.m. So first I decided that okay, I will stay back in school and will join it, because I couldn't miss it at all. So then I thought why not somehow try to make him available for all of you. So then I start tracing him and just approached him. I just called the person who was organizing this event in IIT Kanpur first. I contacted him, then through him I could get the numbers of sir's team. Then I approached the team and then requested them, and somehow uh, we made him available today among us. So a big clap for sir. There is nothing, much which I can add and which you don't know about him, but even would like to share. He is otherwise a professor in IIT Bombay, and he has probably is one of the foremost researcher in the field of solar panels in our country and probably in the world. And he has taken a long leave of 11 years from his institute and just making aware the whole world, including our country in prominence, to make aware the people about climate change, its ill effects, its more adverse effects, which we could witness today. Even you are sitting comfortably here and it is raining outside. And you know the reason behind is a cyclone which has hit our country. Anybody can name it? Vidyalaya, right? You know it is untimely rain. So somewhere it is the consequence of adverse changes in the climate. So he is with that theme moving around and making people aware through his energy Swaraj Yatra, and which he is carrying in a bus. That bus is also available in our school now when you will move back from here. So you can have a look of that bus. So it is really a privilege, sir, that you are here among us. And another relation with him, a bit indirect, that his daughter is also studying in KV Powai in class 12. So no doubt now we have some relations. So myself feel a bit more closer to him now. So with these, I invite you again and invite our Nishant sir and all of you in this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the valuable presentation. Keeping together is a big thing. Keeping together is progress. And working together is success. There are people who make things happen. There are people who watch things happening. And there are people who wonder what happened. But to be successful, you need to be a person who makes things happen. So claps for sir. Not in the first category, but in the last category. Whatever dream he is having in his heart, the dream comes true, and he is propagating the use of solar energy in the various walks of life. Naturally, you will be listening. Who is sir? So here, listen very, very carefully. Professor Chetan sir, is an educator, researcher, innovator, and I have not seen this title, Happiness Program. You see, always whenever he entered, he was smiling, till he is smiling. Happiness Program, teacher of art of living, who is currently on unpaid leave from IIT Bombay. He has undertaken Energy Swaraj Yatra from November 2020 through a solar bus for 11 years. My dear children, bus is waiting there at our premises in school. Beautiful, beautiful. Professor Solanki has pledged, vowed, not to go home until 11 years and stay in the solar Yatra bus. Sir, is it banishment? Exilment? No. It is voluntary banishment he has taken. In the wake of serious and catastrophic climate change, this Energy Swaraj Yatra is designed with the purpose to create a public movement towards adoption of 100% solar energy. And our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, has also praised his Yatra through a personal letter. नहीं बुझाओगे करते हैं सुन रहे हैं ध्यान रखिए आपको कहाँ जाना है Sir has been honored with the brand ambassador of solar energy by government of Madhya Pradesh. Professor Solanki has also been referred. We are taking a lot of time. This name, Solar Man of India. So now who is the Solar Man of India? The Hindu and India Today is the name of the newspaper, leading newspaper of India. Some people call him Solar Gandhi. Wow. Why? Following Gandhian ideals, he has coined the word Energy Swaraj. And to establish Energy Swaraj globally, he has founded the Energy Swaraj Foundation, ESL. Simple living and high thinking. I think this is also maxim you are following in your life as Gandhiji has followed. Professor Solanki has led major solar projects. Now see how much work he has done. At IIT Bombay, through a solar urja, through localization for sustainability project, he has reached 7.5 million families, providing them clean light. There are several awards to his credit. Now listen to the awards. These awards include IEE Global Grand Prize, Prime Minister's Innovation Award for Solar Project, first prize in Solar Chula Design, challenged by ONGC. 3 Guinness World Record, 2 Young Scientist Award, CSIR Science and Technology Award, top 15 must follow thought leaders by the hero of the environment. Claps! Go! Excellence in RSK, outstanding green activist and many more. He has been invited to be G20 delegates and for talk at global corporations like Google, Shell, Intel, BlackRock, etc. Now, designations. He is the chairman of committee of CBSE. हम लोगों से related है and AICTE for solar curriculum development and member of National Focus Group on Environmental Education. He has written 8 books and published over 100 research papers internationally. He has 4 US patents to his credit. During 2019, Professor Solanki traveled across the world, covering 30 countries to spread the message of solar energy. In his ongoing Energy Swaraj Yatra, he has already traveled more than 40,000 kilometers, reaching to over 1,75,000 people. The 11 years Yatra is expected to travel across the country 4 to 5 times. The Yatra aims to bring energy literacy to cover 100 crores and encourage over 1 crore families to switch 100% on solar energy. Professor Solanki has described in his book, Energy Swaraj. Now you see the another effect of Mahatma Gandhi. My experiment with solar truth. My experiment with truth. Who has written? And the first book, Energy Swaraj, my experiment with solar truth. That adoption of Energy Swaraj or energy independence should become a public movement. This Energy Swaraj Yatra is sowing the seeds of the movement so that we can create a better and beautiful world. Thank you, sir. You are doing a lot. Because always remember, great people are not born great, but they grow great. I think with this, you don't want to listen to me. I'm sure. I would like to call upon sir. Say something. Mr. Director Finance. Sir is going to give his talk on 6-point understanding of climate change and corrective actions.
Right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
It is indeed my pleasure to be here. First, it is an IIT campus. I am from IIT Bombay. And secondly, I am addressing to the KV student. And all these beautiful colors are very known to me. I have been living very close to KV in IIT Bombay. So, thank you so much. Thanks to Principal Shri Pandey, thanks to Mr. Nair, thanks to Vice Principal, all the teachers, all students, and members from Energy Swaraj Yatra. So I'm going to talk to you today regarding the climate change, why it is change, and what are the ways to correct it. But before I do that, let me ask all of you all, how are you all? All fine?
Yes, sir.
What a disaster. What a disaster that you people are fine. I thought when you see a professor from IIT, you are going to be happy. I thought when science is growing, technology is growing, you are going to be happy. Economy is growing, you are going to be happy. But unfortunately, you are only fine. It's really sad. But it's not your problem. It is a problem of the whole world. I keep going everywhere and keep asking people, how are you, how are you, how are you? You know, all they say, fine. You go and ask a taxi driver, bhaiya kaise ho? Kya bolte hain? Fine. You come to college and school and ask principals and professors and students, how are you? They are fine. You go to very big office, ask the collector or a secretary, how are you? You know what they say? Also fine. तो मुझे लगता है दुनिया में कुछ तो गड़बड़ है ना, कुछ तो लोचा है दुनिया में, right? How can everybody be fine? Gita says that every single act that we perform in our life, everything, whether we want to look good, or we want to eat an ice cream, or get a good job, good study, good respect, good money, there is only and only and only one purpose behind every single act. What is that purpose? To feel good and be happy. Isn't it? So I made a rule that I will only talk to those people who are happy. So if you really want to listen to me, you have two choices. You are happy by choice or you are happy by force. Which one you want to choose? Happy by choice? Very nice. That's a very intelligent choice. So with this note, let me ask once again, how are you all? Happy. How are you all? Happy. Very nice. What is the proof that you are happy? You all saying happy now. How do I know that you are happy now? Smile on the face, right? So till I am going to talk to you, keep smile on the face. Natli hogi to bhi chalegi. You all agree with me? Yes. Very nice. Asli smile. Alright, by the way, I know one trick how to bring smile on somebody's face. You want to learn the trick? Yes. Sikhna hai sabko? Yes, sir. Okay, let's do that. What we are going to do? We are going to do small pranayam that brings a smile. ऐसा कोई प्राणायाम आपने सीखा जो स्माइल लाता हो? नहीं ना, मैं आज को सिखाता हूँ. ये प्राणायाम का नाम है आश्चर्यचकित प्राणायाम. क्या नाम है? आश्चर्यचकित प्राणायाम. हम सब लोग क्या करेंगे प्राणायाम में? आश्चर्यचकित फील करेंगे. आश्चर्यचकित सबको पता है ना क्या मतलब होता है? ओके, यू आर ऑल गोइंग टू फील आश्चर्यचकित. कि आश्चर्यचकित फील करते हैं तो क्या होता है? आंखें खुल जाती है, मुंह खुला रह जाता है, आवाज थोड़ी निकलती. मैं आपको करके दिखाता हूँ, then you can all repeat. Are you all ready? Yes, sir. So look at me carefully. How to feel आश्चर्यचकित. It is something like this. Got it? Okay, now it's your turn. हम सब लोग आश्चर्यचकित प्राणायाम के लिए तैयार हो जाएं. Hands by the side. हाथ साइड में कर लें. Very good. और at the count of 3 feel आश्चर्यचकित. जितना जोर से आश्चर्यचकित फील करोगे उतना अच्छा लगेगा. Okay? ज़्यादा आश्चर्यचकित मतलब ज़्यादा स्माइल आएगी. Ready? At the count of 3. Ready? Do it 100%. 1, 2, 3. Not enough. एनर्जी नहीं है. थोड़ा फुल एनर्जी के साथ करना. टीचर्स आप लोगों को खुश रहना तो आप लोग भी कर सकते हैं. दुखी रहना तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ऑलराइट, रेडी? एक साथ करेंगे 100%. रेडी? 1, 2, 3. By the way, this was a trial. Now we are going to do the real one. रियल में क्या करेंगे 5 बार हम लोग लगातार करेंगे. So get ready for the pranayam once again. Get ready for pranayam 5 times continuously with 100%. Ready? 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. All right. How are you all? How are you all? Very nice. अच्छा लगा प्राणायाम? अच्छा लगा तो मुझे लगा मेरे लिए कोई ताली वाली बजाएगा. पर अब मॉडर्न ह्यूमंस बिगड़ते बिगड़ते इतना बिगड़ गए हैं कि ताली बजाने के लिए भी स्पीकर को ही बोलना पड़ता है. See, anyway, with this happy note, let me start talking about a very serious topic of climate change and corrective actions. But before we go further, I wanted to show this bus. This is not bus, by the way. This is my home, and I have left my home for 11 years. Last time when I was at my home, it was 2020. Next time when I will go my home, it will be 2031. And I keep asking people, why would somebody leave home for 11 years? दो कारण हो सकते हैं. One, the person has gone crazy. दिमाग का स्क्रू ढीला हो गया. IIT में कभी-कभी हो जाता है. Or there can be a genuine reason. So looking at me, what do you think? मेरा स्क्रू ढीला लगता है? Thank you so much for being so kind to me. Which means that there is a genuine reason why I am doing that. And for 11 years, this is going to be my home. I'm living here. This is not a normal bus. By the way, there is a bed inside. There's a kitchen inside. There's a washroom inside. There's a library inside. There's an office inside. There's a meeting room inside. There's a training room inside. There's a small temple inside, and also there is a small garden inside. Yes, you can see. And there are solar panels on the top. And those panels are generating enough electricity to fulfill all the needs of my home, except the engine of the bus. Everything runs on solar. Would you like to visit my home sometime?
Yes, sir.
You are most welcome after this. Also, before I start, let me bring your attention to this quote of Plato. Plato was a Greek philosopher. He said, he has written a book called The Republic. In his book, he has written that every king should be a philosopher, or only philosopher should become a king. So philosophy has so much importance in life, because kings used to be very powerful, and with their power they could change the direction of life of people in their kingdom, right? And that's why it is important to be philosophical, because power without philosophy is very dangerous. And the unfortunate aspect of the modern life is we are all very powerful. With the science and technology, we are all growing. We can go to the moon and we can send our machine to the Mars. We can fly big machines. We can make big buildings, big roads. We can change somebody's heart if there is a problem. So we have become very powerful. The unfortunate part is we have lost the touch of philosophy. We have no idea what we are doing, how much we need to do, how long we need to do. Nobody has any idea. For example, everybody feels that the GDP of the country should grow. Yes or no?
Yes,
Everybody wants GDP to grow? Does anybody know in this hall how much GDP should grow? 5%, 7%, 10%, 15%, 20%, how much? Nobody has any idea. Even if I ask this question to Prime Minister of India, मोदी से पूछूं, मोदी जी बताइए देश का GDP कितना बढ़ना चाहिए? मोदी जी क्या बोलेंगे? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बढ़ना चाहिए. कितना बढ़ना चाहिए? Nobody knows, right? अच्छा, how long it should grow? Another 10 years is good for the country, another 20 years, another 30 years, another 40 years, How long GDP should grow so that we all become happy? Nobody knows the answer. Only answer people know is ज़्यादा लंबे तक बढ़ते रहना चाहिए. So not knowing how much to grow and how long to grow is like driving a vehicle without any brakes. Yes or no? And if anybody drives a vehicle without any brakes, what happens? What happens? Accident. To me, it looks like that the modern humans either already have met an accident or we are soon going to meet an accident. या तो हमारा एक्सीडेंट हो चुका है या होने ही वाला है. That's what is the status of the world today, and that's why I'm going to talk to you this 6th point. Climate change means what? What has changed? Why it has changed? Who has changed it? When are we going to correct it? How are we going to correct it? And finally, what we as an individual can do. So if you can take this 6 points home today, then I feel that my job is done. मेरी यात्रा successful हो जाएगी. आप सीखने को तैयार हैं 6 पॉइंट?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start with the point number 1. Climate change means what has changed? क्या change हो गया है? What has changed? We all talk about climate change, climate change. What has changed? Well, first of all, our nature used to be so beautiful. It's not anymore. It's very difficult to find such pictures now, isn't it? You know, you'll find litter more common than the beauty in the nature. So one thing that has changed is the weather system. The weather pattern has changed. The monsoon is not same anymore. The summers are not same anymore. The winter is not same anymore. Everything has changed. The problem is it has changed drastically. How? Why I am saying this? There are extreme events. You know, all the events in the nature which are top 10% are called extreme weather event. The extreme floods, for example, in 1970 to 79, this decade there used to be 313 extreme floods. In the decade of 2010 to 19, this number has gone up to 1393. 5 times increase in the extreme weather events, floods, 5 times more. ऐसा नहीं कि 1000 साल पहले फ्लड्स नहीं आते थे, 500 साल पहले फ्लड्स नहीं आते थे, पर इतने नहीं आते. So what has happened is increase in the number of floods, frequency and intensity. आपने फ्लड्स सुना है कहाँ है? आसाम, Bangalore, but it is happening all over the world. China, Japan, Australia, Western Europe, Brazil, even Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is a desert country. आप Google search करेंगे, desert country में भी floods आ रहे हैं. How much it has changed? You can imagine. What else? Forest fires. Forest fires. Have you heard of Amazon forest fire? California forest fire. Australia, Greece, Italy, Turkey, Russia, UK. Everywhere there are forest fires. The number has also increased from 28 to 127. This has all happened in last 3-4 decades. 500% increase in intensity has happened. Ice is melting at the North Pole and South Pole. You are aware, right? You must be seeing these pictures very often in the newspaper. Ice is melting. 40% of ice has disappeared from the North Pole. 40%. And where the ice water is going? The oceans. And what is happening? Ocean levels are increasing. This is a picture I have taken myself, and if you are there at the sea, you will really feel shocked. This is a place called Sadbhaya village in Odisha. There were 7 villages that used to be there. What does it mean? They are not there anymore. Where the villages are gone? Under the water. The temple of the village, look at this, is under the sand. The hand pump is under the sand. So sea levels are rising and rising very fast. In Bangladesh, every single year, 10 to 12 lakh people have to flee their homes because the sea water is getting into their houses, in their farms. Every single year, 10 to 12 lakh people. All this is happening when? Right in front of our eyes. So climate change has changed many things. Weather systems, sea level rise, more heat, more cold waves, more forest fires, everything is happening more and more. So that is climate change. Is the point clear? Let's go to the point number 2. Why it has changed? Why climate has changed? What do you think? Why climate has changed? Because of the global warming? What else? Why climate has changed? Deforestation? What else? Pollution? There is only one reason why climate has changed, and the reason is use of energy. We all use energy, and energy is important in our life because United Nations has come up with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Have you heard of SDGs? 17 of them. But in the center of each of this goal is energy. So whether it is poverty, hunger, health, education, literacy, women empowerment, climate change, even global peace and partnership has something to do with energy. Global peace and partnership. What is happening in Ukraine, war, has something to do with energy. What happened in Iraq, war, has something to do with energy. So energy is everything and everything is energy. We need energy. But the problem is we are using wrong energy. We are playing a wrong game of energy, and this chart is actually a proof of that, how wrong we are. This is the history of humans of last 225 years of energy consumption. Look at this point. What is it called? Industrialization. Beginning of industrialization. When did it happen? 1850. Before 1850, how we are living? Before 1850, we were living with all renewable, only biomass, only wind, only hydro. 1850, what has started happening? First time the humans started using what? Coal as an energy source, coal. And then 1900 we started using crude oil. In 1950 we started using gas. But look at beyond 1950, how the energy consumption has increased so fast. Can you see this? Today in 2023, as I am talking to you, we are using coal, oil, gas, solar, wind, biomass, hydro, nuclear, all kind of energy sources we are using. But the problem is these three curves. Look at this. The pink, blue and grey, this put together is 85% energy that world is consuming today. Today the world runs 85% on these three sources, coal, oil and gas. So what is the problem if you are using coal, oil and gas? Is there any problem? They are not renewable. What else? Pollution. One problem is that we don't have it. We are energy poor country. We have to import all this. We have to spend money. We have to spend foreign exchange, dollars. For that we need to earn dollars. And if you are running short of dollars, same thing will happen. That is happening to our neighboring countries. You remember what happened to Sri Lanka? They ran short of foreign exchange. Their oil supply was disturbed. Their food supply was disturbed. लोगों के पास जेब में पैसा था भर भर के, local currency, खाना नहीं था. You know why? Because petrol diesel supply was not there. What is happening in Pakistan? You are aware? It can happen to our country also. So first of all, dependency on other country, because we don't have it. We import crude oil, we import gas, we import coal, we import nuclear fuel. We are energy poor country. 12 lakh crore rupees is what India spends every single year in importing energy. How much? 12 lakh crore, which is equal to 50% of our foreign exchange income. जितनी हमारी कमाई होती है उसका 50% सिर्फ एनर्जी इंपोर्ट करने में खर्च करते हैं. I keep saying don't worry, मतलब ये चिंता की बात है, परंतु मोदी जी देख लेंगे पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे, नहीं हमारा काम नहीं. But there is a bigger problem. The problem is all these three, coal, oil and gas, is made out of one single atom. What is that atom? Carbon. And whenever we burn carbon, this is the equation. Carbon plus oxygen equal to energy plus carbon dioxide. We all use energy. When we are using energy, when lights are running, fans are running, you are using energy. When you travel, use petrol and diesel, you are using energy. When you brush your teeth, you are using energy. You know that? आप सब लोग ब्रश करके आए? रोज करते हैं? Very nice. How disaster it is to brush your teeth, Brushing teeth requires toothpaste. You need to manufacture toothpaste that takes energy. But you are not going to buy toothpaste in tube. It has to be beautifully packaged, right? That requires energy, cardboard and then color. But you do not know where your toothpaste is manufactured. 500 kilometers away from your home or 1000 kilometers. Nobody has any idea. You need to transport toothpaste. That requires energy. Then shopkeepers keeps in his shop and it runs lights and fan. That requires energy. Then you go and buy the toothpaste. That requires energy. Is toothpaste good enough to brush your teeth? No, you need toothbrush. Again, manufacturing of toothbrush, packaging of a toothbrush, transportation of toothbrush, storing of a toothbrush. That is energy.
अच्छा ठीक है.
Is toothpaste and toothbrush is good enough to brush your teeth? Water is required. For water you require pipe. For pipe you require iron. That has to be mined and then manufactured. Pipe is good enough? No, you require motor. For motor you require magnets, copper wire. Is it good enough for water? No, you require overhead tanks, cement and concrete, energy. Is that good enough to brush your teeth? No. And whenever we use energy, what happens? CO2 emission. Where do we emit carbon dioxide? Food is being cooked in your kitchen, LPG is being burned, carbon emission is coming out. What do you do with the carbon emission coming out of your kitchen? What do? You throw where? In the atmosphere, right? We all throw carbon dioxide in the atmosphere as if it is your father's property. हमारे पिताजी का है, चाचा का है, दादा का है, नाना का है, पर हम सबको पिताजी की प्रॉपर्टी लगता है, जितना से उतना कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड हवा में छोड़ता है. आज तक किसी ने ये नहीं बताया, you can't do that. Atmosphere itself is a finite body, right? Beyond atmosphere it's all vacuum. You can't do that. Humans have been doing that. As a result, this is what is happening in our atmosphere. The concentration of carbon dioxide for thousands of years it was fixed. thousands of years. And then came 1800 and what happened? 1850. What happened beyond 1850? Look at carbon dioxide where it is going. हमारे एक कहावत है ना, जब बंदरों के हाथ में उस तरह लगता है तो क्या करते हैं? गड़बड़ करते हैं, राइट? वैसे ही एनर्जी हमारे हाथ में लगे इंसानों के हाथ में, तो ठीक वैसे ही जैसे कि बंदरों के हाथ में उस तरह. Look at what we have done with our atmosphere. Right now, as I am talking to you, there is 50% extra carbon dioxide. We have changed our atmosphere by 50%. What do you think? It's a small change or a big change? The modern humans have become so dangerous, which means all of us, that we have changed our atmosphere by 50%. This carbon dioxide is not a normal gas, by the way. It is called greenhouse gas. So carbon dioxide ऊपर हवा में गई, ऊपर जाके क्या करती है? मनुष्य को घूर-घूर के देख रही, मनुष्य लोग क्या कर रहे हैं धरती पर? What carbon dioxide is doing? It is doing something. What it is doing? Trapping heat, because it's a greenhouse gas. It is having greenhouse effect. So it is trapping heat. Extra 50%. How much? Extra 50%. As a result, there is heat. The temperature of the planet is increasing. And the second problem is, it has a life of 300 years. What does it mean? Whatever energy that you are consuming today, the AC that you are enjoying today, the lights that are running today, it will have impact on the planet for how many years?
Yes.
My God, 300 years. What a disaster, right? क्या करते हैं हम लोग रोज सुबह शाम 300 साल के लिए are going to impact this planet forever, and as a result of this, the temperature of the planet is rising and rising and rising. Look at this. Temperature is rising, and it was linearly rising. But look at the last 7-8 years. It was going linearly. Now it is increasing. As I am talking to you today, the planet has become warmer by 1.19 degrees centigrade, which is equal to 2.1 degree Fahrenheit. There are two temperature scale, right? Degree centigrade, degree Fahrenheit. 1.19 degree centigrade. Small change or a big change? कई लोगों को लगता है अरे हमारे कानपुर में तो 45 डिग्री तापमान जाता है, 1 डिग्री से क्या फर्क पड़ता है? फर्क पड़ता है? फर्क पड़ता है. डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट में कितना टेम्परेचर बढ़ गया? 2.1 डिग्री. बॉडी टेम्परेचर कितना होता है? 97-98 डिग्री फ़ारेनहाइट. यदि बॉडी टेम्परेचर 2 डिग्री बढ़ जाए, only 2 डिग्री out of 98, if it becomes 100 degree, what we say? Body has got the fever. The planet's temperature is increased by 2 degree Fahrenheit. Can we say planet has got the fever? Yes and no. Yes. My God, planet has got the fever. When you get a fever, what do you do? Medicine, paracetamol, Dolo 650, right? Everybody's favorite during COVID. Is there any Dolo 650 that we can give to our planet? Is there any? No. When you get a fever, what happens? You lose balance. You cannot eat properly, sleep properly, work properly, study properly. Similar to that, planet also cannot behave properly, and that's why there are floods, there are heat waves, there are cold waves, there is sea level rise, there are forest fires, increase in diseases, all kind of things are happening on this planet. So point number 2 clear? Why climate has changed? Because of the use of carbon-based energy that results in carbon dioxide. Clear? So carbon dioxide is the ultimate culprit for this thing. Let's come to the point number 3. Who has changed the climate? Humans. And who has changed the climate? You know, we are all very smart. Whenever I ask this question, who has changed the climate? All smart, intelligent, educated people, you know what they say? Humans have done it, I have not done it. Who has done it? Humans, I have not done it, you know. Then I have to tell, hello, wake up, are you not humans? Are you not humans? So who has changed the climate? Then they correct themselves and we have done it. That is also not correct. You know why? Because who is enjoying AC right now? I, right? You are enjoying, individual, right? Who is sitting on the nice chair? You. Who is wearing the clothes? You. Who is going to eat the food? You only. So right thing to say, who has caused the climate change? I have done it, you know. We do it in 2 ways. Number 1, because we use energy directly. We use electricity, food, travel directly, and indirectly we do it in the form of clothes, buildings, materials, etc. So directly and indirectly we cause carbon emission, and therefore it is right thing to say it is I who has caused the climate change. Point here. You know, in India we have Panchatantra story. Panchatantra की कहानी में कहते हैं, once upon a time there was a person sitting on a branch of a tree, and cutting the same branch. What do you call this category of people? Stupid, right? Fool, isn't it? I get wondered, one side, the GDP of the country is increasing. Great. On the other side, the nature is degrading. This is the same nature that nurtures our life, without which we cannot live. We can live without mobile phones, we can live without computers, we can live without clothes, but we cannot live without breathing air. We cannot live without drinking water. We cannot live without eating food. But tell me, if any one of you can guarantee that the air that you are breathing is clean, can you? That the food that you are eating is without any chemicals? That the water you can drink without any filtering. Can you do that? The most essential aspect of our life, air, water and soil, has also been degraded. So, the big question is this a modernity or stupidity? Looks like a plain stupidity, isn't it? How can we destroy the same water that I am only going to drink? How can I pollute the same air that I am only going to breathe? How can I, pollute the same soil from which I am only going to eat food? How can I do that? It's a height of stupidity. The next question is, who is stupid? Very nice. Say it loudly. Who is stupid? See, so many beautiful smiling stupids are sitting here. But that's the whole purpose of my yatra, is to bring this sense to people that this is height of stupidity of modern people, that we are destroying and damaging our own life, which are essential for human existence. Isn't it? We are doing it. And I feel surprised that actually we are doing it. आश्चर्य होता है कि मनुष्य लोग इतने मूर्ख कैसे हो सकते हैं? नहीं? But actually it is like this. So, point here, who has caused the climate change? I have done it. Let's go to the point number 4. Climate is changed, fine. It is changed because of energy and CO2. I have changed the climate. The next point is, when to correct it? When do you want it to correct it? We should correct it right now. Right? The climate scientist tells us that we need to limit the global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade. Ideally, or maximum 2 degrees centigrade. We should do everything possible to limit the global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrade. Why should we do this? What is going to happen at 1.5 degrees centigrade? क्या होने वाला है? Will there be sudden disaster and everybody will die? ऐसा होने वाला 1.5 डिग्री पे? No. I keep saying, don't worry. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा, अचानक प्रलय आएगा, सब लोग मर जाएंगे. चिंता नहीं करना, इतनी आसान मौत नहीं मिलने वाली. Nature is not going to kill you so easily, How is nature going to kill us? In a movie, if there is a dangerous villain, how does the dangerous villain kill a hero? खतरनाक विलेन हीरो को कैसे मारता है? तड़पा के. कैसे मारता है? तड़पा के. तो नेचर हमको कैसे मारने वाली है? ये सबको जोर से बोलना चाहिए, याद, ताकि सबको याद रहे. नेचर हमको कैसे मारने वाली है? तड़पा के. So more floods, more droughts, more heat waves, more cold waves, more forest fire, more change in weather system, more diseases, more decrease in food production yield. All of this is you are going to suffer, and this is already happening. Ask people in Assam, जब 15-20 दिन तक पानी भरा था, तड़पना क्या होता है? Ask people of Pakistan, 1/3 of the country was flooded. 1/3 of the country was flooded in one go. उनसे पूछो तड़पना क्या होता है? When there are forest fire in Australia, 1 million square kilometer of forest got burned, nobody could control it. उनसे पूछो तड़पना क्या होता है? So literally, in literal sense, it is going to happen as the climate becomes worse. What is going to happen at 1.5 degrees centigrade? The change in climate will start to become irreversible. It will start because climate is a big thing. And by 2 degrees centigrade, it will be completely irreversible. Beyond that, if all the humans on this planet decide कि आज के बाद कुछ नहीं करेंगे, दुनिया में सिर्फ लंगोट पहन के जिएंगे, फिर भी क्लाइमेट को रिवर्स नहीं कर सकते. Why? Because it's an irreversible process. It's like Lakshman Rekha. Once you cross it, you cannot come back. Is the point clear? So we need to do it right now, ideally 1.5 or maximum 2 degrees centigrade. Would you like to do something?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, only 3 people want to do something. Would you like to do something?
Yes, sir.
The problem is we don't have time. How much time is left depends on 2 parameters. One is how much is our carbon budget. And for 1.5 degrees centigrade, the carbon budget is 280 billion tons. For 2 degrees centigrade, carbon budget is 1000 billion tons approximately. That looks like a big number. But the problem is this: the rate at which we are emitting carbon dioxide. Can you all read this number? How much carbon dioxide we are emitting? 14 lakh kilogram of carbon dioxide in how much time? 1 second. And how much is 1 second? 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 14 lakh. 14 lakh. 14 lakh kilogram. 14 lakh kilogram. 14. This is the rate at which we are emitting carbon dioxide. 14 lakh किलोग्राम एक सेकंड में. जब मैं एक सेंटेंस बोलना चालू करता हूँ, खत्म करता हूँ, इतनी देर में 100 लाख किलोग्राम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एटमॉस्फेयर में चला. कितने खतरनाक हो गए हम लोग नहीं? We are all contributing to it. 100 lakh kilograms in just one sentence that I speak. Now tell me, ये इतना कार्बन एमिशन करते हैं, can we correct this problem by planting trees? No, a tree takes 10, 15, 20 years before it fully grows, and then it absorbs only 1 or 2 tons of carbon dioxide. The rate of emission is much higher. The rate of absorption is very tiny, and therefore, if you are feeling and thinking that if you plant a tree every day and solve the problem of climate change, no, it will not happen. If you are thinking that you will make the world plastic free and solve the problem of climate change, no, it will not happen. The problem is 99% people do not even understand what it is. Right? Passanjari? So if you divide this by this, you will get what is called climate clock, and I was so happy to see first time in my own eyes, that there is a climate clock in your school. Are you all watching it every day?
Yes.
As per the climate clock, this is the time that I have taken on 21st January. As of today, it is 6 years and 35 days or 30 days, odd days are left. Shall I say congratulations to all of you for having such a wonderful problem? Only this much time is left before the global temperature touches 1.5 degrees centigrade, and that brings to, we have to do it right now. That brings to point number 5. How to correct it. And we are not rich people. We are very poor people. We are not rich like Elon Musk, that we will have enough money to escape this planet and go to some other planet. You cannot do that, right? So सब लोग इधर ही रहने वाले हैं. So whatever you want to do it here, because there is no planet B. This is only your planet. So do it here. How to correct it? I believe very few people understand. Professors also don't understand. Policymakers don't understand. Politicians do not understand. Parents do not understand. Professionals do not understand. Very few people understand, and I want you to understand it properly. Are you all ready? Let's understand how to correct it. Okay? Number 1, IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, one of the world's most credible body. IPCC. As per this, they say very clearly, we need to change energy use pattern. The climate has changed because of what? Can you treat the cancer by taking paracetamol? No. To remove the cause of the cancer. You have to remove the cancerous cells from the body. You have to do chemotherapy, then only you can solve the problem of cancer. Similarly, if climate has changed, you cannot solve the problem of climate change by planting trees. You have to remove the cause of the climate change, and the cause of climate change is energy, carbon dioxide. So you need to change energy use pattern. 85% energy comes from coal oil gas, right? So you need to change energy use pattern, but there are 2 conditions that it needs to be applied. Change has to happen, but how the change should be? Drastic change. And second condition? Immediate change. Now tell me, in your life, have you come across a person, an institution, a country, a state which are making drastic and immediate change in energy? Is there anybody? कोई दिखता है तुमको जो immediate and drastic changes are being done in energy? Is there anybody? Nobody is doing it. And as a result of that, climate change is neither slowing down, neither it is stopping, neither it is accelerating. Isn't it? Because we are not doing the right things that needs to be done, and that is a big worry. And that is exactly the reason I started my yatra. I left IIT and everything, because people are not doing what they are supposed to do to solve the problem of climate change. Alright? Point here? Can we really do this? Is a big question. Can we really do this? Because we are all living in a life full of contradictions, and one of the contradictions I'm going to tell you here, we all want growth. Yes? Everybody wants growth? For growth, what we need? Energy. And 85% energy comes from where? Coal, oil and gas. That results in what emission? Carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide emission will cause climate change. See? So growth is climate change. If you want growth, you also get climate change. And that is exactly what is happening. We are growing, no doubt. But our climate change is also accelerating. So the question is, what do we want in life? Do we want growth or you want climate change solution? What do you want? Growth or climate change solution? Whenever I ask this question, all young people, they say climate change solution. And all old people, what they say? They say nothing. You know why? Because जितने भी 40-50 साल 60 साल की उम्र के लोग हैं, वो आने वाले 20-30 साल में कहीं जाने वाले हैं. They don't bother. They don't care. But all young people, because you are all going to stay here 50, 60, 70, 80 years. And anybody who stays more longer on this planet is going to suffer more. And therefore young people are more worried about the climate change. So what do we need? Climate change solution. For growth we require energy supply increase. And for climate change solution we require decrease in energy supply. See the opposite thing? And that is where the problem begins. Nobody is willing to slow down and actually work so that it will make sustainable. I keep saying this is not a simple problem anymore. This is not a problem whether the temperature will change, whether the system change. This is the problem whether humans can survive on this planet 100 years down the line or not. And therefore, if anybody who solves this problem, according to me, should get not 1 or 2 Nobel Prize, he should get 8 to 10 Nobel Prizes. Any one of you want a Nobel Prize? Hello? How many of you want a Nobel Prize? Wow, very good, awesome. Why don't we give a big round of applause for all these people who are raising their hands? जिन लोगों ने हाथ खड़ा नहीं किया उनको भी लाइफ में कभी लगे कि अभी बहुत हो गया, मुझे थोड़ा अच्छा काम करना, नोबेल चाहिए, तो ये काम करना है. क्या करना है? Make sure that there is a growth without affecting climate change. And this is not a million, not a billion. This is $1 trillion question. How to do that? Nobody knows how to do that. I am going to propose you a solution. I hope this solution makes sense. Are you all ready? Yes, what we need to do? We need to change energy split and how drastically and immediately. So I have a solution. Let me propose. My solution is that we need to all switch to solar energy 100%, not 99. How much? But the manner which we do is even more important. How should we do it? By surrendering electricity connection. So tell me, if today all of us decide that today we will surrender our electricity connection from home, will that be a drastic change? Yes, be drastic. And if we decide कि आज शाम को ही छोड़ देंगे, will that be immediate change? Yes, sir. Then drastic and immediate. That's solution, right? You're getting me? If you really understand, do you understand why I'm saying you need to surrender and then go to solar? If you really understand, when you go home today, do one thing. What you should do when you go home today? Write a love letter. To whom? Electricity board. You should write a love letter to electricity board and you should write, dear electricity board. So far we have been taking electricity from you, but today our eyes are opened and we have decided that we will generate our own electricity. And therefore we do not need your connection. Kindly take your connection back yours fully. Thank you so much. Will you write such a letter? Please do that. If not today, write this month. If not this month, write this year. If not this year, write within 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. As soon as possible, switch to solar energy 100%. It is not your choice anymore. It is the compulsion of this life. It is not a question of whether you want or you don't want. If you want to survive on this planet, you need to go to solar 100%. Point here. By the way, how many of you are using solar energy right now? 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. That is where the problem begins. By the way, tell me, how many of you are eating food every day? Eating food every day. Some people have doubt whether they eat food every day or not. Can we grow food without using solar energy? Can we grow food without using solar energy? No. So if you are eating food means you are using solar energy. Yes or no? Yes. How many of you are breathing every time? इसमें तो उपवास करने वाले भी नहीं बोल सकते कि आज उपवास है, आज ब्रीथ करेंगे, राइट? Can we produce oxygen without using solar energy? No, photosynthesis requires solar energy, right? So, if you are breathing means you are using solar energy. How many of you are drinking water every day? There is no water cycle possible without using solar energy. So, if you are drinking water means you are using solar energy. So, let me ask this question once again. How many of you are using solar energy? Everyone. What a revelation in your life, right? Finally, today you realize that you are already using solar energy. बहुत सारे लोग बेचारे बिना जाने ही मर जाते हैं, उनको जीवन भर पता नहीं चलता कि उनका अस्तित्व सोलर एनर्जी के कारण था. We survive on this planet because of solar energy. But look at the disaster, you know. Modern people feel that only when we use solar panel we use solar energy. Isn't it? That is what the problem is. We are already a big user of solar energy. So what if my lights and fans run on solar? So what if my kitchen runs on solar? So what if my vehicle runs on solar? This has to be the most normal aspect of our life, but we have made it very special, right? If somebody is using solar, he feels great. No, this has to be the most normal part of your life. As if we eat food every day, so we need to use solar energy. But be careful. You know why? Because we the modern people, we are expert in what? We are expert in solving one problem and creating. See, everybody knows this. We are all experts. Solve one problem, create another problem. Solve one problem. Earlier we used to do this, one problem solution, problem, one solution. Now we have become experts. So what we do? We solve one problem and create many more problems. So science is increasing, technology is increasing, economy is increasing, but stress is also increasing, violence is also increasing, depression is also increasing, degradation is also increasing, climate change is also getting worse. Everything is going in opposite direction. So we have to be careful in what we do because our history tells us that we have not done it properly. Getting the point? So there are some rules I have made, you know, like we have rules to live in our house. What is the rule? We sleep in the bedroom, we cook in the kitchen, take bath in the bathroom. We don't do otherwise, right? We cook in the bedroom and sleep in the kitchen. Can we don't do that. Planet is our bigger home. There has to be rules to live on this planet. And that rules are given, so you can call them Solanki's fundamental laws of human existence, you know. And you can write this on the walls of IIT Kanpur. That Professor Solanki has told, if humans want to survive on this planet, we need to follow these two rules. Rule number 1, limit your consumption. Whatever we consume in life, we must limit. Gandhiji said it beautifully, you know. There is only enough in the world for everyone's need, not for anyone's greed. Why did Gandhiji say this? Anybody think this point? क्यों कहा था गांधी ने 100 साल पहले, when there was no climate change, when the rivers were not polluted, everything was fine? Why did Gandhi say that you can only satisfy your need, not the greed? Because of one single reason, that everything on this planet is finite. You can't change it. You can't change the size of the planet. Can we? Can we increase the amount of water on the planet? Soil on the planet, minerals on the planet? Nothing. Everything is fixed. Then why does modern human think, nahi, we should grow, production should grow, consumption should grow, economy should grow? Is that continuously possible? No. When your salary is fixed, your expenses has to be fixed. When everything is fixed and finite on this planet, our consumption has to be fixed. Is the point clear? Everything has to be fixed. Then somebody asked me a question, then sir, how our GDP is increasing? How come GDP keeps increasing all the time? I said, there is only one way to do that. You know what? By the act of stealing, चोरी करके. आप लोग चोरी करते हैं? नहीं करते हैं, very nice. अच्छा, चोरी करने किसको बोलते हैं? Let us see that, you know. जब 100 रुपए किसी से उधार लिए और वापस दे दिए तो क्या बोलते हैं? उधार लिए. 100 रुपए लिए वापस दे दिए तो क्या बोलते हैं? उधार लिए. 100 रुपए लिए और पूरे जीवन वापस नहीं दिए तो क्या बोलेंगे? चोरी की, बदमाशी की, गबन की, right? We the modern people with our science and technology, we are stealing. For example, let me give an example of a tube well technology. With the tube well technology, what are you doing? We are taking water from below the ground. Have you learned how to put water back? No. Is the water table in India going down? Yes. So can we say we are stealing water? और जो चोरी करता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? चोर. और चोर कौन है? हम नहीं. Very nice. You are all living stolen life. Particularly the older one of my generation and the older people, they are living stolen life because the water does not belong to me anymore. I will not put the water back. The forest is not put by my father, but I am cutting it. So that is stealing from my own children and my own grandchildren. So limit your consumption. Rule number 2, localize your production. Whatever you produce, do it locally. Gandhiji said again one thing, not the mass production, production by masses is required. Because whenever you do the mass production, what happens? Unequal distribution. Whenever there is unequal distribution, what will happen in society? Inequity, asamanta. Or whenever there will be inequity, there will be lack of peace and violence. As a result, last 30, 40, 50 years, science is growing, technology is growing, economy is growing. Is the brotherhood also growing? No. Is the love between people growing?
No.
Is the violence growing?
Yes.
Yes. Violence is growing because we are using the wrong model. So, how to solve the problem of climate change? 2 rules. Will you all remember? First rule is limit your consumption. Second, localize your production. Limit and localize. Everything that you consume, limit and localize. For example, if you are consuming water, rule number 1 is limit your consumption. How do I limit my consumption? Do not take bath in the bathtub. Limiting consumption. Or sometimes don't take bath at all. More as a consumption. And localize your production means recharge locally. When you are using clothes, rule number 1 is limit your consumption. What does it mean? Don't fill up your cupboard with the clothes. You know? नहीं तो कई बार अलमारी में इतने कपड़े रहते हैं, कई सारे जोड़ी कपड़े के बेचारे मालिक का इंतजार करते हैं, मेरा मालिक साल भर में मुझे कब पहनेगा, ऐसा करते हैं? Don't do that. And localize your production means use local clothes. If you want to use food, limit your consumption, don't waste. Localize your production means use local food. Don't bring it from Australia, China and Japan. Don't do that. It takes a lot of energy, and one of the most dangerous things that we do in our life is energy. So if you want to use energy in your life, rule number 1 is limit. First, learn to limit energy consumption, and rule number 2 is localize your production. ये 2 फार्मूला आप कहीं भी लगा के देख लेना, and then see problem solve होता है. For example, lot of people are very gung ho about इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स एंड दे कीप आस्किंग मी, इलेक्ट्रिकल व्हीकल आने से क्लाइमेट चेंज प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होगा क्या? आप खुद अप्लाई करके देखो, ये फील होता है क्या इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल आने से कंजम्पशन लिमिट हो रहा है, बढ़ रहा है? क्या इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल आने से लोकल हो रहा है सब मैन्युफैक्चरिंग? नहीं. If you are failing on this 2 point, it tells that electric vehicles cannot be the solution for the climate change. ये टूल आप खुद अप्लाई करके देख सकते हैं अपने लाइफ. Is that point here? That comes to the last point, what individual can do. Who has caused the climate change? I have done it, so I need to do something. What I need to do something? Well, it is the energy that has, the game of energy has gone wrong. And you have to correct the game of energy. Most people are trying to tweak the solution of energy. Thoda aisa kar le thoda, but what I am saying that is not going to work. We need to rethink and redesign the manner we generate energy and consume. Everything we need to rethink and redesign. We cannot tweak the solution in the manner that we become sustainable and we solve the problem of climate change. So we need to switch to solar energy, and switching to solar energy, I have created a simple 3-step approach. This 3-step approach is called ANG approach. We all need to switch to solar, there is no choice. But the manner we do is important. This approach is called ANG approach. Avoid, minimize, generate. Let's see what it is. Rule number 1 is avoid. Step number 1 is avoid the use of energy as much as possible, even if it is solar energy. The first rule of using solar energy is don't use solar energy. You know, people feel surprised that I am a professor of solar energy, I am a brand ambassador of solar energy. People call me solar man of India. My job is to promote solar energy, but what I am saying, rule number 1, do not use solar energy also. Why? Because there is no manufacturing technology in the world which does not have impact on the environment. Everything like brushing your teeth has also impact. So when you use solar energy means you are using silicon, you are making solar cells, you are making module. For making module you need glass, and then you need aluminum frame. Then to erect the module you require iron structure, then you need cables, you need electronics, inverters, you need batteries, and all this component needs to be recycled at the end of life. All it's going to take energy and chemicals, and therefore best thing in life is to do what? दुनिया लाइफ में सबसे अच्छा काम क्या करना चाहिए? कुछ नहीं करना चाहिए. क्या करना चाहिए? कुछ नहीं करना चाहिए. कुछ कर करके इंसानों ने इतनी हालत खराब कर दी दुनिया की. Do nothing, you know. गीता का पर कर्म तो करना पड़ेगा. देखो हम अभी कल आप प्रैक्टिस करने वाले हैं ना मेडिटेशन. द ग्रेटेस्ट जॉय इन लाइफ कम्स फ्रॉम डीपेस्ट ऑफ मेडिटेशन. जब गहरा ध्यान करेंगे तो जॉय आता है. वो ध्यान करते हैं मेडिटेशन में क्या करते हैं हम लोग? व्हाट डू वी डू इन मेडिटेशन? डू नथिंग, राइट? So in life also we start doing nothing, then you will actually save the climate. So avoid the use of energy. How we can avoid the use of energy? Can you give an example? For example, there are so many lights are on in this hall. If I switch 10% lights off, will something happen in this hall? Nothing will happen. Little light will go down, but will all sit comfortably. That is avoidable. At my home, I am a professor of IIT Bombay. At my home, there is no refrigerator. There is no geyser. There is no air conditioner. And I stopped ironing my clothes also. It's not because I am a poor person, I am a professor of IIT Bombay, I could afford everything, but it is because whenever we use refrigerator for one day, it results in about 1 unit of electricity consumption. You can read there, you know? It's already written on the door. So 1 day use of refrigerator results in 1 unit of electricity consumption, and 1 unit of electricity is equal to approximately 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide emission. And 1 kilogram of carbon dioxide once emitted remains in the atmosphere for how many? 300 years. So your comfort of 1 day is going to be discomfort for how many years? 1 दिन का फ्रिज का उपयोग करने का सुख किसी के लिए 300 साल का दुख बनने वाला है. और दुख कौन भुगतेगा? Who is going to bear it? Not I. I तो मर जाएगा ना. I 300 साल कहाँ बचने वाला है? नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. Who's next generation? तुम्हारी पड़ोसी की नहीं. Your own children. That's why I'm making this point again and again. Your own children, your own grandchildren are going to bear what you are doing right now on this planet. बात समझ में आ रही है? समझ में आ रही है? What a disaster. You do something in your 300 years means 10 generation. You do something in your 10 generations are going to bear this. ऐसा काम जो तुम करो, listen, ऐसा काम जो तुम करो, तुम्हारी 10 पीढ़ियां भुगतती रहे, ऐसे काम को क्या कहेंगे? आप है ये, राइट? तुम करो, तुम्हारी 10 पीढ़ियां भुगतती रहे, तुम एसी का आनंद लो, बेचारे 10 पीढ़ियां भुगतते रहे क्लाइमेट चेंज. ये किसी पाप से कम नहीं है. और जो पाप करता है उसको क्या बोलते हैं? और पापी कौन है? हाँ. This is how we are. Intrusive, right? This is how we are. So let's avoid the use of energy, because we also say in English there is a saying, prevention is better than using. Solar energy is like a cure, and not using any energy is prevention, and prevention is 100 times better than cure. Not using any energy. So far we have been learning how to do things. From today let us start learning how not to do things. What we should learn from today? How not to iron, how not to use refrigerator, how not to use AC, how not to use vehicle, how not to use big buildings. Let us start learning, and that is how we can solve the problem of the world. So that is step number 1, avoid the use of energy by 1/3. If you cannot avoid, minimize the use of energy. How do I minimize? Minimize by 1/3, use efficient appliances. Like LED is a very efficient appliance. If you replace CFL with a LED, your energy needs will go by half, your CO2 will go by half. Right now there are fans like BLDC fan. These are the induction motor fans. BLDC fan takes less than half energy. So when you replace your normal fan with BLDC, your energy needs will cut by half, your CO2 emission will go by half. Refrigerator. Use of refrigerator should be avoided. If you cannot avoid it, the next best thing is, how do we minimize the use of refrigerator? Refrigerator के use को कैसे minimize कर सकते हैं? First of all, don't buy 2 doors and 3 doors and 4 doors refrigerator. आजकल लोग इतना बड़ा रेफ्रिजरेटर खरीदते हैं, उसके अंदर ही रूम बनाने में तुले रहते. फिर बड़ा रेफ्रिजरेटर ले लेते, क्या करते हैं? उसके अंदर अचार रख के खाते हैं. और मुझे लगता है फ्रिज के अंदर अचार रख के खाना दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा पाप है. नहीं, अचार तो बाहर रखने के लिए बना है, पर घर में बड़ा फ्रिज चाहिए, 2-2, 3-3 दरवाजे का, अब इसमें अचार भर देंगे, ये भर देंगे, वो भर देंगे. You need some small space for critical items like milk and maybe some vegetables. That's it. You don't need more than 50 liters of refrigerator. People are buying 300 and 400 or whatnot. Minimize it. use smaller one, 5-star rated. AC you should be avoided. If you cannot avoid it, minimize it. How do I minimize AC? Listen, what AC is doing? Listen. What AC is doing? AC is cooling your roof. AC also cooling your walls. AC is also cooling your floors and your furniture. And finally at the end, AC is cooling your small body of 2 feet by 6 feet. इतना बड़ा बड़ा बेडरूम बनाते हैं, एसी सबको ठंडा करता है, आखिर में छोटा शरीर ठंडा करता है. कितने बदतमीज तरीके से एसी का यूज करते हैं हम लोग, राइट? For the God said, don't make big bedrooms, make smaller spaces, because smaller spaces need smaller cooling. The electricity needs to go down. You're getting my point? And use 5-star rated AC. So minimize it, avoid by 1/3. If you cannot avoid, minimize by 1/3. If you cannot minimize, as the last step, only generate 1/3. Where should you generate? Look, wherever you are. In this building, all the energy needs of this building should come from this building. All needs of your house should come from your own roof only. Then in true sense we are going to be sustainable. I hope you are all going to remember this rule, AFG. Will you all remember? Yes. Let us all repeat it, okay? A means avoid. M means minimize. And G means generate. How much? 1/3. And if you are not going to follow AFG, you will have to say OMG, oh my God, solar energy महंगा है, oh my God, छत पे जगह नहीं है, policies are not there, subsidies are not there, all kind of things will come. Better follow AMG, and whenever we follow AMG, it becomes energy Swaraj. That's the whole idea of energy Swaraj, energy independence, energy Atmanirbharta. When I reduce my energy needs, when I use energy efficiently, when I generate my energy locally, it becomes energy Swaraj. And I believe energy Swaraj is a very powerful tool today to solve the problem, all the problems of the world. If you want to solve the problem of unemployment, adopt to energy Swaraj. Because when everybody generates and consumes their own energy, we need a lot of people to install and repair and maintain, more jobs will be created. When you want to solve the problem of local economic growth, adopt energy Swaraj. Because when local people will use it locally, the money will circulate in local economic growth will happen. When you solve the problem of dependence on the other country, adopt to energy Swaraj, because you don't have to import and spend energy and depend on other countries. When you want to solve the problem of climate change, adopt energy Swaraj, because once you generate locally with solar, you are not going to emit carbon dioxide. And when you do that, then it becomes energy Swaraj. And that's why I'm saying energy Swaraj is a powerful tool for every problem solution in the world. You are getting my point? I have presented this idea at a global competition in IEEE. It was a global competition, there were more than 450 teams taken part. We were winner in the national level, then we were also winner at the Asia level, and in the final round, there were 3 teams from each continent, 7 continents, so there were 21 teams. We met all the teams and we were the global winner with the prize money of $100,000 US. $100,000 is about 80 lakh rupees. I have donated that money. I have not kept money with me. I have donated that money and created the foundation, Energy Swaraj Foundation, so that we can establish Energy Swaraj everywhere in the world. I also believe that it is impossible for any government to solve this problem. Impossible. Who has caused the climate change? Everybody has done it, and therefore everybody has to take part in the solution. Do you agree with me?
Yes, sir.
There has to be a kind of a movement, public movement, when everybody starts feeling that I need to be energy independent. When everybody starts feeling that I don't want to contribute in terms of carbon emission. ये कब होगा? When you all start taking pride in saying that मेरे घर बिजली connection नहीं है. When you take pride in doing it. When you are taking pride in saying that I am not wearing iron clothes. When you take pride in saying that I do not have refrigerator at home. When you start taking pride in saying that I am not responsible for carbon emissions. You have to make low energy consumption as a passion of our life. जब हम ये डिसाइड करेंगे कि कोई बड़ी कार से उतरेगा, उसको घर में चाय पे नहीं बुलाएंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि वो ज्यादा कार्बन एमिशन करता है. तो कम कार्बन एमिशन करना एक लाइफ का फैशन बनाना पड़ेगा, मॉडर्न लाइफ. राइट? So as I told, at my home there is no fridge, no geyser, no AC. I am wearing non-iron clothes. हमने ये भी डिसाइड किया, whenever I have 2 daughters, whenever my daughters will get married, in their marriage function we are only going to invite those guests who come without ironing their clothes. तो बिना प्रेस के कपड़े पहन के आएंगे उन्हीं को बुलाएंगे, जो प्रेस के कपड़े पहन के आएंगे उनको बोलेंगे नमस्ते गलाना। गुड आइडिया। आप में से जितने लोग बैठे अधिकतर बिना शादीशुदा के, कैन यू डिसाइड टुडे कि जब तुम्हारी शादी होगी आप लोग भी ऐसे ही करने वाले? लेट मी सी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू डू। वाह, KVIT Kanpur, you rock. All right, give them a big round of applause. Let us make low energy consumption as a fashion of our modern life, because that is what is required. And when we do that, then it will become a public movement, and that is what the purpose of my yatra is, to create that public movement. Please don't start planning from right away. We have topic time. All right. So what I'm saying is, we need to create a public movement. That's the whole purpose of my yatra. And you're already, thanks to your principal, you're already doing energy literacy training. If you've not done that, please do that. Have you seen what is written on my shirt?
I am energy.
I am energy literate. Are you energy literate? Yes, sir. Some of you are already. You can also start writing on your shirt. Tell the whole world, shout it, that you are energy literate. So do that. And you already done the climate club assembly at the end. I would also say, let us create a public movement. Let us start adopting to Energy Swaraj. Let us start using this hashtags Energy Swaraj movement. And I will do that. I have written this book. If anybody wants to read, you can read this book. At the end, I would like to not summarize myself. Let us all summarize together. And I'm a professor, and professors are good at taking exam, right? So I have created a small exam here. There are 3 fill in the blanks. Are you all ready for the exam?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask one by one. So here is the question number 1. Let's see. Climate is not changing. Climate has changed. Already changed. We can all feel it in our life that it is not normal anymore. Okay, great. Here is the question number 2. Who has caused the climate change? I have caused the climate change, because I am the one who is consuming energy, and I am the one who is using materials. The question number 3. Who will be the solution to climate change? I will be the solution to the climate change, because I am doing it. So if you are not going to do that, one last point, if you are not going to do that, the global temperature by the end of this century will rise to minimum 3 degrees centigrade. Right now it is 1.19. End of century means another 77 years, 78 years. The temperature will rise to minimum 3 degree, 4 degree, 5 degree, 6 degree. In 1.1 degree, there is so much of disaster taking place on the planet. Imagine what will happen at 3 degree, 4 degree. There is a question mark whether humanity survive from 80 years from now, 100 years from now, 150 years from now or not. And if you are not going to take right action right now, we say that once upon a time there were dinosaurs on this planet. They are not there anymore. They disappeared because of the climate change. If you are not going to take action, it may happen 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years later, a new species will appear on this planet, and they will say, once upon a time there were humans on the planet. Oh my God! In this beautiful morning, what are we talking about? But our experience and our data suggests that we are heading into that direction. Before it becomes too late, let us start taking action right now, so that we can make this whole world better and beautiful place for yourself and your future generation. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. OMG, OMG, OMG. Really, sir, you have made us realize that what are we doing in a nature way, and what are the drastic effects are there. So, lucky sir, your session was wonderful. As you have launched the happiness program, and really, it has given the happiness, but certain worries also. And really, we have to think about, sir, was it a confession session?
What is that?
Confession session. We confessed, and you said so many things to us, chore. और क्या कहा, तड़पा तड़पा के मरोगे, और क्या बोला बच्चों बताओ? Really, sir, you have shown the reality, the havoc, what really we are doing. When sir arrived with the Swaraj bus, solar bus, I asked sir, may I go to your accommodation? And really, I found our fellow members were also there, Vice Principal Madam and other colleagues. A small one that is enough to survive. Everything was in a minimum way, as sir has said, minimize the consumption. And I have found a little garden also. So, sir, we want to add one more plant in your garden. Now my request goes to Vidyalaya Madam to extend and also call our worthy principal sir, extend the green welcome.
So if you can,
to sir.
there is a little break.
Still, that's
And then after that you can ask questions.
Yeah. And afterwards, sir, all of you handsome. This is a small thing in our class. Thank you, sir. Let us chant the song Sabka Mangal.
You can all close your eyes and it's a short prayer, and then you can ask question answer after that. Keep your eyes closed. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale it out. Another deep breath in and breathe out. You can open your eyes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and let everybody grow, let everybody be happy. the whole planet be happy. So this, if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take some questions.
My dear students, you must be having lots and lots in your mind. If you want to ask any question, you can raise your hand.
Good morning, sir. Sir, why did you took only 11 years? Why not 10 or 12?
Why not 12?
Yes, sir. Why not 10 or 12?
Why not 10 or 12?
Yes.
Well, when I started thinking about it, it was around 2020, and by 2030 there is a target of sustainable development goals. You know, all SDGs have targeted 2030. Also, it is not enough for a couple of years of Yatra because this problem is of the entire planet, and few years are not going to be enough. It has to be sufficiently long time. I thought at least a decade will be good. And finally, 11 is a good number in India. So starting from 2020 to 2030 it becomes 11. So this is how it decided to be 2030.
Anybody else?
Sir, how to arrange the money to arrange for the solar panels?
How do you arrange money?
Yes, sir.
The small savings from the pocket money. Don't eat pizza.
But solar panels are very expensive.
No, they are not. There's a confusion and a misconception that solar energy is very expensive. I keep giving examples. You know, for example, everybody says solar energy is expensive, solar panels are expensive. But first of all, we do not buy things because they are cheap and expensive. Let me give an example. Gold. You know, gold. You know what is the cost of gold? 60,000 rupees for only 10 grams. Cheap or expensive? Very expensive. Do people buy gold?
Yes.
Cars are, as compared to two-wheeler, cars are 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 10 lakh, cheap or expensive? Do people buy cars?
Yes, sir.
Mobile phone, there is 1100 rupees mobile phone available, but everybody, I'm sure, at the campus will have at least 10,000, 15, 20,000 mobile phones. Why? Expensive, right? So we do not buy things because they are cheap and expensive, we buy things because they become part of our priority. The moment solar energy becomes a priority, it is not, the question is not correct with the cheaper expensive, it is required for our survival, right? But nevertheless, just for a comparison, a typical house, if somebody is building, will at least cost 50 lakhs, 60 lakhs, 70 lakhs, even a flat. More than that, right? But minimum at least. A solar panel of 2 lakh rupees will be more than enough to fulfill all your needs 100%. So out of 50 lakhs, if you just spend 2 lakhs and fulfill our energy needs locally, is that expensive? Particularly when you are going to save so much of carbon emission. So this question is not right whether it is that it is expensive. So already, you know, when I did my PhD in solar, I could not imagine that solar could be so cheap as it is today. Already very, very low cost. So this is not correct. First of all, it is our priority. It has to be our priority, and when it is priority, we don't ask whether it is cheap or expensive. Like when there is emergency, you know, somebody gets a heart attack. When we get heart attack, do we do the maths? Shall I go to hospital or not? Shall I go by walking or auto or no? We don't do, right? Climate change is an emergency, and we have to behave like an emergency. Okay? Somebody had a question there.
Anyone else? None of you, Prakash. Come forward. And anybody else, please come in queue.
Good morning, sir. I want to ask that.
How are you?
Sir, I am happy.
Very nice. Okay.
Sir, I want to ask that how did you go get that idea कि मुझे इसी में काम करना है, because there are many problems in this world. So how did you go get to know कि हाँ यही एक main problem?
Well, the climate change is the mother of all the problems. I believe that every problem has a root in climate change. Even depression, while it's all about energy. So therefore, it is the mother of all the problems, and I believe that if you solve this problem, we are going to solve everything else.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So my question is that can we use the laws of thermodynamics so that we can build such houses that will just require half or 1 hour of AC and then it can stay cool for a long time?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, a good question that can we do something and use thermodynamics or any science so that once you cool it, it remains cool. Definitely can be done. So once you cool it, do not let the heat come in, right? And if you use proper insulation techniques, you will remain cool for the long, long time. In fact, in the olden time, there used to be what is called solar passive architecture. So when we run something, it is called active way of doing it. When you run machine, when you run bulb, when you run fan, that is active way of doing it. When you do nothing and it happens, that is passive way of doing it. For example, if you use right window or right size, there will be light during the day. That is a passive way of light. When you use the right design, it will be cooled without any heat. That is the passive way of cooling. And there are techniques available where you can do the natural lighting, natural cooling, natural ventilation without using any device. So it is definitely possible. People have been doing it.
And sir, another question: can we use lenses so that we can shoot the rays on a very high conductive material, and then we can produce electricity to it?
We can, and in a way there are people doing it. There are two ways people are generating electricity. One is solar photovoltaic, other is solar thermal. In solar thermal, people do the same what you are saying. We collect all the solar radiation, generate high temperature, and use that high temperature to run the rest of the power cycle. So people are doing it.
Will it be efficient as?
That is efficient also. But it needs to focus, and whenever you are going to focus anything, you need to always follow the sun, because you can only focus parallel rays. And when you follow the taking of the sun, and there is a lot of other complications as a part of maintenance, but it is more efficient.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, at one point you talked about minimizing by 1/3. So, sir, does that mean we have to calculate exactly how much of energy we are using?
I mean, this is just a guideline that approximately 1/3 you can avoid, approximately 1/3 you can minimize, and you need to generate only 1/3. So, it's a guideline. You can actually save more than 1/3. You can save 40%, 50%, but just a guideline for a normal man to figure out whether you are doing enough or not.
Sir, but how exactly do we understand that we are minimizing at least?
For example, that in the night we need light, so we cannot live without light. So if you are replacing your CFL with LED, you can figure out the rating difference in the power rating. So suppose you are replacing 20 watt CFL with 10 watt LED without compromising with your light output, then you are saving 50%, right? The power rating. So this is how you can calculate. And if you do my energy literacy training, you will learn how to calculate how much you are saving.
Okay, thanks.
सर जैसे कि भूटान में हम लोग ये कि उसको कार्बन नेगेटिव कंट्री कहा जाता है, तो सर मतलब वहाँ पे ऐसा क्या है, मतलब कि वो क्यों कहा जाता है?
भूटान, so good question. भूटान को कार्बन नेगेटिव कंट्री कहा जाता है, उसको ऐसा क्यों कहा जाता है? नंबर 1, वहाँ पे इतने बिगड़े हुए लोग नहीं रहते। घर में 4 एसी लगाएंगे और जब नहीं बैठेंगे तो भी एसी चलाएंगे। So they are sensitive about it, and also their energy consumption is less because their parameter of growth is not GDP. We all use parameter of growth as GDP, gross domestic product. They use parameter of growth as a GHI, gross happiness index. And that is what we want. Everybody wants to be happy, healthy. So when our target is happiness, and for by default everybody's target is happiness, but we try to do something else. So when we make happiness as our target, not the material, then automatically we become carbon negative. So let's target being happy more than accumulating wealth. All right? You also question?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy.
Thank
Both
you.
of things. I had always a one query that due to lack of space, many people are living now in flats, right? And the people there, like, if at all we want the solar panel on the rooftop, we talk to so many people. Why not have such kind of a compact kind of thing available so that we can, it's not like I want my house to be totally, I have got the solar energy, but such kind of equipment can be provided which we can install at least in our balcony.
Right. Please be quiet. Next second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other one is,
Yeah.
right now the panel size is big. Can we make it small so that we
And
can...
even in that particular inclination it should be there. So in case we want even on the window we can put it. Something of that sort can be done.
Well, I mean,
Or,
it can definitely be done. The only thing is that if you expose to the proper sunlight, then it will generate more. If you do not expose, it will generate less. But nobody stops today to put panels on the walls also. You can actually do that. Your generation will be little less than the normal when you put in the roof.
Where do we get it? Like what I
What I'm saying is same panel will also generate when you put in the wall and the windows. Like it will work. It will generate less, but it is definitely going to work. Like in my bus, it is moving all the time. So the inclination of panel is not the. Sorry?
So what kind of fuel you use for your?
For engine. That is not no engine and no carbon emission. Or I run my bus on diesel and go and meet lakhs of people and encourage them to do carbon saving. And therefore in return I am saving more carbon dioxide. I thought Himalaya se ye zyada acha hai. You agree with me? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your understanding.
Sir, one question we have here, sir.
Where?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. You know, making it understood.
By 2030, if we make it out, then we will be more solar. So, will this solar panel won't be a hazard by that time? Because
It will be, as I said, any technology has a side effect. And how are we to recycle solar panel, etc. That's why the rule is AAG. First, avoid and minimize and generate. And if you generate only one third, the nature has a capacity and a tolerance limit. Everybody has a tolerance limit. Nature also has a tolerance limit. So if you do little, then you are all fine. You can recycle and all. But if you do blindly like we are doing today, then it is not going to work. And that's why prevention is better than cure. Let us all focus how not to use energy. And I would challenge your KV that you should reduce your electricity bill without spending single rupee by at least 20%. Can we all take this challenge? Yes, sir. So in next 3 months, as compared to, we'll compare month to month, the next 3 months, reduce your electricity consumption by at least 20%, and then I'll be sending you a special certificate of Energy Swaraj warriors in true sense. By not doing anything, you're already saving thousands of kilograms of CO2.
well, will you be able to do that? Yes. Good.
Wonderful.
So, these solar panels are decomposable.
Well, we can recycle them. All the materials that are there in silicon panel is recyclable. They are not toxic also. Silicon is not toxic, aluminum, iron. We can recycle. But every recycling also takes energy and materials. That's why it is bare minimum is what you should do. Thank you. All right. If there are no questions, I said there is one question. There are more questions.
So you tell the LED lights reduce the energy.
Correct.
Which type of mechanism used in LED lights and use of this mechanism uses of energy in reducing refrigerators and AC?
Well, I mean LEDs are semiconductors. So any semiconductor device, any device where there is no moving part is more efficient. So IC engine is a moving part, but LEDs has no moving part. It's only semiconductor. So there are materials called gallium arsenide. When any excited electron will fall back to the lower energy levels, the energy is given out of light, and that's why they are more efficient. But you can't do the same thing for other operations also. You can't do the same thing in air conditioning because that is a different mechanism. So semiconductor operations are more efficient.
Thank you, sir.
One last question there and second last question.
My question is, what motivates you to start the Swaraj Yatra? आप भी तो ऐसा कर सकते थे, बहुत से लोग होते हैं कहते हैं
आराम से IIT में रहते हैं.
It's not my problem. Then why should I do this? आप भी कर सकते थे कि मेरी प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं है ना, ये नेक्स्ट जनरेशन प्रॉब्लम वो देखेंगे क्या कर रहा है.
Very nice. Thank you so much for asking this question. Well, I mean, first of all, I give two answers. Number one, जब आपके पीछे टाइगर खड़ा हो तो दौड़ने के लिए कोई मोटिवेशन नहीं चाहिए, right? Climate change is such a big problem. When you understand it, you don't need any other motivation. But when I traveled across the world in 2019, and I realized that all the countries, rich countries, poor countries, developed countries, developing countries, all the countries are only doing one thing: economic growth at the cost of everything. सबको इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ करना, भले हवा खराब हो जाए, पानी खराब हो जाए, मिट्टी खराब हो जाए, संबंध खराब, सब चलेगा, सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ नहीं रुकना चाहिए. तो मुझे लगा ये तो बहुत बड़ा लोचा है दुनिया में.
बैटरीज लूज होती हैं। सर तो बैटरीज को भी तो रिसाइकिल करने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, बहुत एनर्जी।
करेक्ट।
सो उसका सोल्यूशन क्या है?
उसका सॉल्यूशन है मत यूज करो।
आपको सोलर यूज करना है तो उसमें
नहीं, पहले मैंने बोला सोलर, मैंने बोला पहले अवॉइड करो, फिर अवॉइड नहीं कर सकते तो मिनिमाइज करो, फिर वो भी नहीं कर सकते उससे कम करो, और नहीं हो तो बहुत ही अच्छी बात है। प्रिवेंशन इज बेटर देन क्योर।
ऐसे आपकी बस
हमारे साथी हैं, मैं बोलता हूँ, वो मेरी बस के साथी हैं, वो अभी आपको मिलेंगे बस में, और वो इतने बढ़िया हैं कि वो बहुत अच्छे साथी तो हैं, बहुत अच्छा खाना भी बनाते हैं। तो हम जब भी बस में खाना बनता है, इतने आनंद से हम लोग खाते हैं, और ही इज ऑल्सो वेरी गुड कुक इन एवरीथिंग। सो हमारी बहुत अच्छी टीम है। थैंक यू।
Morning, sir. May I ask that we use solar panels for powering of the satellite facilities? Then why solar panels are not so prominent in the transport sector? Why we are not using electric vehicles and all which are powered by solar panels rather than electric?
Well, I mean, the surface area required to generate enough energy for vehicles is not enough. Surface area is not enough. That's why we use it. ठीक है? All done?
Sir, there is a long queue. It should be stopped, otherwise.
Yes, we should stop it. But I have one last question. I have one last question. मेरा मोबाइल अच्छा, मेरा मोबाइल अच्छा मान लो। I have one last question. May I ask?
Yes, sir.
How are you all? How are you all? How long you want to be happy? Forever? Please do that, because that is the most important task we are here for. दुनिया में हम आए हैं तो उसका पर्पस ही खुश होना, हम लोग उसको छोड़ के बाकी सारे काम करते हैं, है ना? तो आज के बाद कोई पूछे हाउ आर यू तो क्या कहेंगे? हैप्पी। भले घर से मम्मी ने एक झापट लगा के भेजा, ताजा झापट, फिर भी कोई फ्रेंड मिल जाए पूछे कैसे हो तो क्या बोलेंगे? हैप्पी। थोड़ा झूठ बोलेंगे, सब लोग थोड़ा झूठ बोलते होंगे, राइट? ओके, ऑलराइट। I would like to take a selfie with you. May I? Yes, sir. What I'm going to do is I will make a video. Make video बनाएंगे, and I will ask how are you? You can reply, okay? And I say, are you all ready? Yes, sir. How are you all? Happy. How are you all? Happy. How are you all? Happy. Thank you so much. Thank you. You can stand. Once again, it was a wonderful interaction. I really felt like home and enjoyed my interaction. Thanks a lot. All of you are welcome to visit my bus. It is not, it's my home, so please make sure that you remove your shoes outside and then you can insert.
Thank you, sir. And thanks for any question to your information. We are interviewing, so I have already gone. Now I would like to call upon Vidyalaya to put forward her vote of thanks.
And after a vote of thanks, then you will walk back to the school. First we will leave and then you will come to the Vidyalaya, right?
Thank you, sir, and thank you, Priyanka ma'am. Very good morning to all of you. Good morning. I deem it a great pleasure and honor to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding